You wake up today with absolutely nothing in your investment account. $0, maybe some debt, maybe just enough income to keep the lights on. And everywhere you look, financial content is telling you to buy this coin, follow this trend, use this AI app to beat the market. It is overwhelming, and most people do nothing. They freeze. But here's what I want you to understand before we get into anything else. Starting from zero in 2026 is not a disadvantage. It's actually a clean slate that most people with messy portfolios would trade for. Today, I am walking you through the exact step-by-step process I would follow if I had to rebuild from nothing right now. No course to sell you, no app to download, just the honest math and the honest psychology behind building real wealth. Let's get into it. Before you touch the stock market, before you open a brokerage account, before you watch a single video about which ETF to buy, you have to deal with the invisible anchor. And that anchor is high-interest debt. I know the argument. People say you can just invest and outperform the debt interest rate. That sounds clever until you do the math. If you were carrying credit card debt at 20 or 24% interest, you were losing money faster than any reasonable investment can make it. Paying that debt off is literally a guaranteed return at whatever rate you are being charged. You will not find that guarantee anywhere in the stock market, period. The method is called the avalanche. You list every debt you have and you rank them by interest rate from highest to lowest. You ignore the balance size entirely. You throw every extra dollar you can find at the highest rate debt while making only the minimum payments on everything else. You sell things you are not using. You cut subscriptions you forgot about. You treat this phase like your hair is on fire, because financially it kind of is. When that first debt is gone, you take that payment amount and roll it straight into the next one. You keep going until the high interest stuff is completely dead. Here's something most people miss about this phase. It's not just financial. Debt creates a psychological cage. When you owe money, you are afraid to take risks. You cannot ask for a raise because you are terrified of losing the job. You cannot move for a better opportunity because you need that paycheck too badly. Clearing the debt is not just fixing a number on a spreadsheet. It's unlocking your ability to make better life decisions. That compound effect on your choices is worth just as much as the interest you stop paying. Now your debt is handled, your buffer is built, you have extra money coming in every month. Step 3 is where it gets powerful. Before you open any regular brokerage account, you need to understand the order of operations for your money. The government has given you specific tools to shelter your investments from taxes, and ignoring them is one of the most expensive mistakes you can make. Step 1 in this order is your employer's retirement plan, like a 401k, but only up to the full employer match. If your company matches your contributions up to a certain percentage, that match is 100% immediate return on your money. Nothing in the market competes with that. Step 2 is a Roth IRA. You contribute after-tax money now, and it grows completely tax-free. When you withdraw decades later, you owe nothing to the IRS on all of that growth. The difference over 30 years is enormous. Step 3, if you have a qualifying health plan, an HSA offers triple tax advantages that no other account can match. Then you go back and fill your 401k further, and only after all of that do you open a standard taxable brokerage account. This waterfall order of operations is not complicated, but it requires discipline. The temptation is to just open an investment app and start buying because it feels immediate and exciting. Doing it in the wrong account costs you tens of thousands of dollars over time, purely because of taxes. Account selection matters as much as what you actually invest in. Now let's talk about what you actually buy. And I want to be direct here, because there's a lot of noise in this space. You do not need to be smart enough to find the next great company. You need to be disciplined enough not to chase bad ones. Data consistently shows that the overwhelming majority of professional fund managers, people paid millions with every analytical tool available, fail to beat a simple stock market index fund over a 15-year period. If they can't do it consistently, the realistic odds of a retail investor doing it in their spare time are not favorable. My approach is 90% boring. I put 90% of my investable money into low-cost, broad market index funds, covering the total US market and some international exposure. I automate it, I never touch it. The remaining 10% I allow myself to use for individual stocks or anything speculative. If that 10% goes to zero, my financial life is unaffected. This scratches the psychological itch to feel involved without gambling your future on it. Good investing should honestly feel like watching paint dry. If it feels exciting, you're probably taking too much risk. The final piece is the one most financial videos skip over, and it's the most important accelerant available to you. You can optimize savings and taxes all you want, but there's a hard floor on how much you can cut your spending. There's no ceiling on what you can earn. If your income doesn't grow, every other step we talked about works in slow motion. Driving for a gig app gives you linear income. You stop working, you stop earning. But upgrading a skill in your primary career, getting better at something that makes you more valuable, creates compounding income. A raise raises your base salary, your retirement contributions, your employer match, and every future percentage increase. The leverage is completely different. Do a simple audit. Look at your current job and ask yourself what single skill, if you genuinely mastered it over the next 6 months, would make you nearly impossible to ignore. Pick one thing. Use the hour a day you would spend scrolling on learning that thing. Use free resources. Then use that new skill to negotiate a raise or pursue a better role. Even a modest income increase makes every other step in this plan dramatically more powerful. So, here's the complete picture. Kill the high-interest debt using the avalanche method, build 3 to 6 months of living expenses as a cash buffer, use the tax advantage to count waterfall before touching any regular brokerage account, invest primarily in low-cost index funds and keep speculative bets to a small, controlled percentage, and aggressively invest in upgrading your primary income skill. None of this is a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a get-wealthy-for-certain scheme if you stay patient and stay consistent. Drop your questions or your own strategy in the comments because I genuinely want to know where you're starting from and what you're working with. Stop wishing you could have more time and freedom and take action to make it happen. This is what my friend Chris Miles from Money Ripples tells clients to do all the time. His mission is to make 1,000 people financially free by 2030. To help him achieve this goal, he created a group coaching system and course called the Wealth Accelerator Academy. The tools and lessons you learn about passive investing and how to vet deals are invaluable to helping you live the life you want. Want to learn more? Check out the course by clicking down the link below. If this video opened your eyes to what's possible, subscribe because your financial freedom story starts right here on this channel.